Hey guys, it's Lord of Fish. Today we'll be playing this modern Merfolk list in a modern league. So this list is fairly typical, but there's a few changes. Starting off, this might not be a change, but I'm running two Spreading Seas main deck. Some Merfolk lists are trying out Dismember over Spreading Seas, so this change is quite interesting. Since Dismember can deal with some of the threats we have a hard time with, like Ravagon, Dragon Rage Chandler, and Ledger Shredder, I definitely want to see how this testing goes long term. Since in the wrong matchup, Dismember can be a dead card, while Spreading Seas can always do something. Now, another note is I want to try out some counterspells in the sideboard. So I don't think this is necessarily the right move, but I want to experiment with some more counterspells. I trimmed some Brazen Barners since counterspell is very good versus Cascade decks, and I figured it could be useful. So with that said, let's get into the Modern League. So this is game 1 and we lost the die roll. I think this hand's keepable. It's a hand. I mean, getting Trickster out will be a little clunky, but we still have Silvergill Adept. Although I don't like revealing Merfolk Trickster, it's gonna... I don't think it's the worst thing. Oh, Inquisition. That is... I don't think we want to force negate this. That would... yeah, I don't think we want to do that. It would just be too much card disadvantage versus a Thoughtseize deck. So let's see what they take. It's probably a Silvergill Adept. I mean, if we only had one vial, they would probably take that, but... Alright. Let's see what we draw here. Alright, it's just a lens, so we'll just play a Ether Vial and pass. It would be really devastating if they had another Thoughtseize effect, because they would take Trickster, and then we're kind of out of things to do. I really hope they don't have another Thoughtseize. I don't know if they'd need to respond to Ether Vial. What could they have? Oh, let's see. Okay, it resolves. Oh no. Alright. So when they take Trickster, we're just kind of in top deck mode by turn 3. That's not really that good. Alright. Let's see. I guess we just have to run this out. I mean... yeah. I mean, yeah, holding a forced negation would be terrible. I mean, we just have to play Lord of Atlantis. It would have been nice if they hadn't got rid of our Silvergill Adept, but... Alright, let's see what they play here. Tarmogoyf, okay. That's... annoying, okay. So, what's a good draw here? I guess Silvergill Adept? We could vial that in? Ugh, okay. This is getting... Alright, so we're just gonna have to hold up Forced Negation, do nothing. So let's see what happens. Okay. Renin 6. I guess we're just gonna force to negate this because we're so far behind. We can't deal with a Renin 6. This is definitely not a good spot to be in. I guess we just have to get lucky with our draws. It's our real only way out. Alright. Lord of Atlantis, I guess we just play an island and... well, we'll activate Mutavault. Yeah, we'll activate Mutavault. I was just checking to make sure we didn't play that Mutavault this turn. Alright, so... yeah, we'll attack with Mutavault and just... pass. Maybe bluff. Because Ether Vial right now is just kind of irrelevant. Renin 6. Alright, so they have another one. This isn't the worst spot to be in, but we're, like, praying our opponent doesn't have much. Alright. Another Mutavault. That's not the best draw. We just have to pass here. Ugh. Seeing that Renin 6, like, survive another turn is... It's not frustrating, but it's annoying. Alright. So, we're in a really bad spot now. We are in top deck mode, and it's... Ugh. Yeah, I mean, that hand was not very good versus a double Inquisition. Oh, Grist. That is... Ugh. They're gonna make an insect. That is... And then next turn they're just gonna blow up practically everything we play. Okay. This game... It's pretty much over for us, but not entirely. Let's see what we draw. We gotta keep Ether Vial on too, just in case we get a Silver Gill Adept. So, okay. Let's say we vialed in Master of the Pearl Trident, then activated both Mutavaults. And, so, the Mutavaults would be 4/4s, but he would just block. We would, okay, if we attack with both Mutavaults, I wouldn't even want to attack with Lord of Atlantis, because they just block with Tarmogoyf. And then, this doesn't, however you imagine this exchange, it doesn't look that great. And we're just, this Tarmogoyf is actually really annoying to get through. Really annoying. Liliana, ugh. I don't see much hope from coming back from this. Alright, so for sideboarding, I added 2 Dismembers because it's an easy way to deal with any of their threats, like Ravagon, Dragon Rage Chandler, Tarmogoyf, you get the idea. I added in 2 Spell Pierces to deal with any removal or planeswalkers like Liliana the Veil, Renin 6, without having the disadvantage of 2 for winning ourselves with Forced Negation. I also added Kira because their removal can be a little bit slower and Kira is really good in that environment. I also added 2 Relics of Progenitus. I was thinking about adding a third, but it was really, like, I didn't want to trim more cards, and I figured 2 is just enough, and if the only graveyard-oriented card they're running is Tarmogoyf, then it's not the most necessary thing to bring in. I wanted to learn a little bit more about my opponent's deck before I considered citing in a third. I trimmed all of my Forced Negations, actually, because they're really clunky, and you're never feeling good about 2 for 1ing yourself on most of the cards that they'll play. I also trimmed some Ether Vials because they could have Kolaghan's Command, and that would be a really bad exchange. Alright, so now we're on the play, and I think this hand's fine. This hand's definitely much better than the last one. We got everything we need between Relic of Progenitus just to stall our opponent's graveyards, keep down Tarmogoyfs. Tide Shaper will guarantee us island blocks so we can easily push through for damage. We've got Akira, which will just stall our opponent's removal, and Silver Gill Adept is just great card advantage. So let's see what our opponent does. But yeah, even though this is only an island and a Mutavault, we're going to draw on 2 islands basically guaranteed by the time it ever becomes relevant, so this is definitely a good hand. Alright, they're shocking. Ragavan. Okay, that if they were on the play, that would be a pretty big deal, but it's not that bad because we can just play Silver Gill Adept. And we're hoping we can just trade with the Ragavan. So I was thinking, why is it so often that your opponent will just attack with their Ravagon and hope that you're not blocking with your Silver Gill Adept? And then I realized, well, by the time you can stabilize a Silver Gill Adept, Ragavan basically just becomes kind of a dead card, and they want to get as much value out of it as they can. So yeah, and I think we're gonna reveal Master just because we have more Tide Shapers in hand, but that is definitely not the easiest decision. Alright, so let's see if they have a removal spell. And would they use it on Silver Guild with that? Because their deck isn't as efficient when it comes to removal as Murktide, say. Because Murktide, you know, they have a lot of surveilling. So they attack. That's actually pretty good. Alright, we get to block. That's nice. Alright, so this is a fine exchange. Alright, so they're probably gonna shock. Okay, they just got a basic. That's fine. They're gonna Inquisition me. We just let that resolve. No other choice. And let's see what they take. They might take Kira. Or they might take the Lord. It's between Kira and it's between Kira and Master the Pearl Trident. And the decision really depends on what my opponent has in hand right now. Alright, so they chose Master the Pearl Trident, which means they probably have a way of dealing with Kira. So next turn, I think we're just gonna run out Kira because it's the most mana efficient plan. And getting Kira to just stick is really good versus these type of decks. Alright, they shock in an Overgrown Tomb. Does this mean... Okay, they have Liliana. That is annoying, but it's not game ending. So we're just gonna have to sacrifice Kira. And Liliana won't have to stick for too long, actually. On their end step, we're just gonna force them to exile more and more. Alright. Okay, so we got a Subtlety. That's interesting. So we could hold up Subtlety, or we could kick a Tideshaper and kill Liliana. This is definitely an interesting point, but I think it's best to kill Liliana. I don't want to... It's definitely a harder decision, but I don't like seeing Liliana stick around for too long. And also, I think cutting them off of red is pretty valuable. So I think we're gonna go for the kill Liliana and play Tideshaper plan over holding up Subtlety. Since if we let Liliana stick around for too long, she might just, you know, take over the game. You know, this Relic of Progenitus isn't as useful right now, so I don't think we're gonna side in one more. I might, but let's see what happens. Because right now they have nothing that actually uses the graveyard. No Grist. Well, Grist does use the graveyard. Alright, they're gonna Thoughtseize, so they're probably just gonna take the Subtlety. That's okay. So you can cut them off. Well, we could also cut them off a green. Alright. I don't know if this Relic of Progenitus is worthwhile. Alright, so we drew a Lord. That's pretty good. So let's start off by casting Tideshaper and see what happens. Alright, so we're just gonna target Overgrown Tomb, because I feel like cutting them off the green is more valuable than red, but I could be wrong. Oh, they're tapping their land, so okay. Oh, I guess they didn't do anything. Maybe they had Assassin's Trophy? Well, they could still tap for green, or they thought they could, but they didn't. They tapped for a green and a blue, so no, I don't know what they were doing, but it didn't work out either way. What is this? Punishment for 2. Oh. Destroy each artifact. Okay. Oh. Okay. Shouldn't he have played that for 1? To kill the Tideshapers and everything? I'm betting our opponent read that card wrong. Alright. Because there wouldn't be any other way that would make sense. Alright. So we don't have many things going on, and I feel like the graveyard is just not that relevant right now. Okay, Subtlety. Subtlety's okay. So we're just gonna hold that up and attack with both Tideshapers now. We're bringing our opponent down to 6 life, which is really risky territory considering our board state right now. So I'm really curious what they could have. So our opponent only has... Oh, they can't even hard cast a Fury. This is an obvious subtlety. That's a really easy subtlety. We're getting really... Okay, they can see it. That was a really good subtlety. That was a fun game. Moving on to game 3. Alright, so in between game 2 and 3, after I evaluated my opponent's deck more, I could have added an extra relic of Progenitus. I didn't see too much graveyard interaction game 2, so I really didn't have a full idea of how many relics I should have brought in, but I figured that an extra relic of Progenitus wouldn't really matter too much, and I didn't see that much graveyard synergies, so I decided it was just better not to bring it in for game 3. Alright, so this time we'll be on the draw. In this hand, it's not... I cannot keep this. It's just way too risky. Yeah, I have to mulligan. Oh my gosh. This hand's... I mean, I have to keep this. But this does not feel good. I have to toss subtlety because I'm not going down on cards more. Oh, this is so hard. I guess I'll cut a Spreading Seas. Having 2 Adawaras on my only lands really suck here. Oh, please don't. Oh my god. Alright, well, mulliganing down to 5 with the baddish hand. Oh man, this is not very lucky today. Alright. This game isn't going very well. So I guess we'll just pass. Silver Gold, that would have been really nice if we... Please do not have another Thoughtseize, I beg. Oh no. Oh no. This does not look good for us at all. What are they gonna do? Take away Sway Lunar Master the Pearl Trident. We are so out of gas right now, it's sad. We're basically in top deck mode. I don't even think I wanted to keep any of those other 2 hands. I don't regret my decisions, but this is just such a bad situation. We draw another land. This is pretty bad. I guess we're just gonna have to pass. Oh man, we got so unlucky here. So unlucky. Alright. That hand would have been okay to keep if they didn't have Inquisition and Thoughtseize. The Inquisition does, and they knew they had to Thoughtseize me. It was the right play. Grist, that is... If I play Sway Luna, it's gonna die now. Oh, they're just gonna get insect token. Anything I play is basically guaranteed dead, and it doesn't help that we're just top decking a lot of lands now. I don't even want to play Sway Loon here. We are in such bad shape. We're just literally killing our own Sway Loon by playing her. Maybe we'll draw a Silver Gill Adept? Maybe? It's a little too late for that, though. This just doesn't look good. They're dashing in a Ragavan? That is so annoying. Okay. What do you get? Let's see. Oh, it's a Mutavault. I don't even know if I would have wanted to draw that. Grist is up to 5 now? That can kill off 2 creatures and still survive. Oh man. This is definitely really hard. This is so hard to come back from. Really hard. I need to get so lucky, and I need our opponent to top deck like absolutely nothing. Well, let's see what we draw. Well, are we... This is... I mean, Ottawar can return Planeswalkers. Maybe if we get enough mana, we could kick a Tide Shaper. It's just gonna die though. And by the time that we Auto-Waro back up, we're basically dead. I mean, this is just really unlucky mulliganing. Really unlucky hands. And then Inquisition and Thoughtseize. Hard to come back from. Alright. Let's see. If they play anything, we are so dead. I mean, okay. I mean, there's no hope. That was not very fun, guys. That's the end of the match. Good game. Thanks for tuning in. Feel free to like, comment, and subscribe.